go, we will have continue also a discussion with our second panel. You have seen them already, but they haven't introduced themselves, so this is the moment to do so. Katja, do you want to start?
Yes, of course. Well, hello everybody. My name is Katrina. That's my full name. I come from Ukraine, and I'm also, as well as others, I'm a student at HANZE University, and I follow the program of International Finance and Control. Currently, I'm pursuing the minor of Sustainable Energy Professional, which is a part of International Business School. And in this minor, we are working closely with topics related to modern energy solutions, energy transitions, and how it's influenced citizens. In our latest project, which is connected to green hydrogen, we are exploring social aspects of energy industry and, for example, what social strategies can be developed to make people more acceptable of new energy solutions.
Thanks very much. Ola, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Hi, my name is Ole Höfner. I'm also a student at the HANZE University, and there I study international business in my third year at the moment, and I'm doing the same minor as Katja, and of course also working on the same project at the moment, which I think is quite interesting, but I won't repeat that right now. What I find quite interesting about this whole energy transition topic is that it's quite challenging and it's quite complex, and we just talked about it a couple of minutes ago, that there's a lot of information out there, and that all this information sort of needs to be sorted and analyzed and applied, and I think that's one of the interesting things about this energy transition, is that it's also like a very complex challenge.
Thank you very much, Ola. And then the last panel member, we have heard you already, but we haven't seen you. Jochem, you can introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you. Hi, I'm Jochem Koster. I'm an architect for like 25 years now. I have my own office in Groningen. I've born and raised here, studied across the world, and we with the whole sustainability, we are working on different scales, on urban planning, on architecture, on interior materials, and that's very exciting. And for me, it's also a big relation into my personal life, which makes it very close, not only on your body but also in your body. So it can be very intimate in a way. Yes.
Thank you for your introduction, Jochem. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we had a nice question to start with during the first round. So if you want to start with it, how did your interest start, and what is climate adaptation or mitigation for you? So Katja, would you like to answer this question?
Yes, of course. Well, I think I already mentioned that I'm a student and my current minor is related to sustainable energy, which is a topic that closely relates to climate. But also I like to use holistic approach to basically anything in life. And holistic approach means that everything is connected. So if you take, for example, the climate changes, this topic influences everything, literally everything. And the changes will, already occur on a political and economical level, as well as, for example, in art, this topic is being investigated as well. And for me, climate adaptation is something we have to embrace and something we have to work on, because if we don't act now, it might be too late, and it will be a pity that, honestly, in this wonderful universe, if we are, for example, the only intelligent creatures who are alive, we would just exterminate ourselves. That would be just a waste of all the intellectual capital which we gained through centuries.
Thank you, Katja. So the holistic approach and a holistic view also on who we are as human beings. Well, in the universe even. Ola.
Yeah, it
would you
also
like to?
connects with philosophy.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm probably can't really give like one moment where it started. I think it's more like a process. I think the fact that there's climate change, I think I grew up with it. So I think this has always been a fact for me. And I think, of course, this is like probably the first step also for people who maybe didn't grow up with this fact. This is probably the first step. And then I think what comes next is some sort of awareness, being aware of what you do and what you do maybe do wrong and what you maybe could do better. And I think this is sort of, at least for me, this was like a bit of a process, being aware of more and more things that negatively impact the climate. And I think then the last and ultimate step is to act on it. And yeah, I think this is also like a parallel process that you first must be aware, but then you also need to act on it. For example, not using the car and using the bike instead. And I think, for example, that's something that I've been doing more and more. Yeah, so I think that's what this climate adaptation is about, on a very personal level.
Thank you, Ola. Small steps and still maybe in the process right now. Okay, Jochem.
Well, it was like many years ago. I read this article about that like 40% of waste worldwide is from building, with all the aspects around it, and it really shook me. And I feel that that's a part where I can really do something about it, because it's of course a part of my profession. And that's really also fun to do, because it's a very conservative world, building worldwide. It's very focused, and it's very about money and about regulations and saving money and making money and stuff like that. It's the usual thing the world goes around. So it's great to do, and I feel it is a big responsibility, but also as in a fun way. It's not a dark world for me. It's an open world where we can do a lot of stuff, and I do also at home with my kids, and I think they also come along and have a different view on the way I feel about it, and it. I was a student like Ola and Katja, and then this whole environmental stuff was for hippies, and it was there wasn't talk about it. You know, you had this lousy sweater, and then you would like peace and stuff like that, and so it really changed. You know, it becomes more at the kitchen table, which makes it also very nice and more accessible. And I think it's also more nice that we start talking more about the possibilities and not about what is not good. I think every effort is good. We are talking about.
Yeah, thank you. Well, what I heard from all of you, and also in the first panel discussion, is that when you look personal life and work or education, there is an overlap. So maybe there should be an overlap somehow, and maybe that is also the way to take up parts on sustainability whenever you are doing or want to do something. I also hear saying, Jochem, there is a very conservative industry, the building sector. There are other sectors as well that are that can be named as conservative as well. So actually my question would be, okay, what then is needed to take away certain barriers in order to take these people along with you on the way of sustainability?
Yeah, yes, that's a hard thing, but also the fun thing about it. That when contractors come to us and they have a question, they want a house, or they want 100 houses or an office, then we first try to talk about them about the question and about sustainability, and then we try to fold in this whole sustainability, that it becomes a part of this location and of this question and of this need. And then if that works, if that happens, then it becomes in a logical way part of this solution. And it doesn't work always that way. We have a lot of regulations, and we have a lot of things of doing by the government. But it takes a flight. It's working more and more, especially I think last 2 years, and also this whole lockdown, Corona, gives people more time to think, which is actually quite nice about this lockdown.
Time to reconsider during the lockdown. Thank you.
Exactly.
Ola, you would like to react on it? Go ahead.
Well, actually, I had already a reaction on Jochem's monologue in the beginning, because I really like the idea of like seeing these opportunities. Because I would say, like, also for myself, I often also, especially when thinking about thinking in opportunities idea is quite good. So maybe something also for me to adopt